Okay, let's make sure everything is good. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Daily time for the daily market analysis. If you are watching on YouTube or on TradingView, do me that huge favor. Drop a message, say hi, let me know it all works. And also, if you can, click that like button, click that subscribe button, click that follow button on TradingView, click that rocket ship button as well. We will give it a minute or two before we get started. And in the meantime, let me know if you have or if you did trade the Aussie interest rate decision. Put it into the chat. Let me know if you traded the Aussie interest rate decision. Let's see. Okay, and if you're new to the session, let me know where you're joining me from. I'm looking to the side here just because I have the TradingView chat and also the YouTube chat open. Okay, so just to let you guys know why I'm looking on this side. Let's see, come on. Hey, Kiara signals from Bermuda. Good to have you here. Hope you're well. Good and excited to kick my first viewing. What's HBU? Happy. What's HBU? I'm terrible with abbreviations. What's HBU? Well, good to have you here. Simply Creed. What about everyone else? I can see a lot of people viewing. Drop a message and say hi. We're trying to form a good, close-knit community on a regular basis. So good to have you guys coming in, and we're growing in terms of viewership and in terms of regular attendee numbers as well. So, make sure you put this in your schedule. 3 p.m. GMT plus 8. We'll be here, daily market analysis. Oh, HBU is how about you? Thanks for that, Ari. I am doing well. I did a quick scalp on gold this morning. I did a quick scalp to the upside on Aussie and then to the downside following the news release. So I'm doing very well actually. Hey, M Leader, good to have you here on time this time. I waited for M Leader. So why we're delaying a little bit is because I'm waiting from M Leader. From Belgium and Rail. I don't know, can't pronounce that. Dar 021, but good to have you here. Alrighty. So now that M Leader is here, we don't have to wait that 1 or 2 more minutes. We can get started. So again, thank you all for attending this session, the daily market analysis. What I tend to do here is that 3 p.m. every day, I will be on this live stream updating you the fundamentals, what has happened in the market, what could happen, things that are coming up. I'll be looking at technicals, as in identifying key levels, support, resistance levels, and possible looking at some indicators, some possible retracement levels, Fibonacci levels, all that sort of things. And then with all that put together, we'll be looking at potential trade setups, right? Potential trade setups that what I'm looking for, right? What I'm looking at, what I'm looking for. I'll just be sharing with you my watch list just so that you can learn how to look for those trade setups as well. This is not the kind of webinar where I tell you, oh, look, if you bought there, you'll make money, or if you bought there, you would have lost money. This is a live stream where we'll be looking together. I'm looking for your feedback, your comments as well, where we'll be looking at possible trade setups that we could possibly think about getting into as price moves. All right, so it's good to have you all here. Again, thank you for attending. Let's get started. But as usual, a quick disclaimer. Any information contained in this webinar should not be construed as advice and is presented as educational material only. So how I would always suggest, and you guys have heard this over and over already, is that you should be approaching this as a learn before you earn kind of mindset. You learn how to look for that setups. You learn what needs to happen before you think about a possible good setup. Then after that, test it out, back test it, forward test it, trade on a smaller trading account first. Then after that, integrate it into your full-on strategy, your full-on trading account. I do remember that some of you here have the habit of having multiple trading accounts, right? Multiple trading accounts. I'm looking at a nickname that starts with M and ends with 1. Multiple trading accounts, the scalping account, the gambling account, and then the longer term trading account. So this is where you could be looking at using a smaller account, learning, testing, before you actually transition this method or this strategy or methodology towards your full-on proper trading account. But also do remember that whatever I share with you here, educational material, is your objectives, financial situation, and needs has not been considered, and you should consider its appropriateness for your circumstances. We do have a whole list of different currency pairs to look through. We will probably end up with many different possible trade setups. If you do jump into all those trades, then I can almost guarantee you that you would be over leveraged. You would be severely over leveraged, which would be a terrible thing, because if you're over leveraged, that's the biggest killer to your trading account. So make sure you manage your leverage. Make sure you understand the risk involved, right? Deploy a proper risk management. I will be identifying support levels, resistance levels, stop loss levels, take profit levels. Do try and respect those risk management strategies, just so that it all leads to you trading with a more balanced psychology, less emotional, less erratic. Okay. Lastly, remember that contents of this webinar are not intended to be a recommendation to trade a financial product. So please, before you jump into any trades, do your own due diligence, DYODD. I know I said just at the start of this webinar, I said that I'm terrible with abbreviations. I had no idea what HBU was, but I had to research this, and DYODD is something that you have to pay close attention to. Hey Jamil, good to have you here. Good morning. Thank you for attending. So again, thank you all. Let's get started. And in the meantime, as we get started, if you're new to the session, do drop that message. Say hi. Let me know that you're here. Let me know where you're joining us from. And if you have any questions, any trading related questions at any point in time, please feel free, put it into the chat. Let me know. You can request. This is like a radio talk show, right? You can request for currency pairs for me to analyze. I will look through the majors. If you have anything specific or anything that I missed out on, ask me and I'll look through that as well. And also, I tend to ramble on and shoot off quite quickly in different tangents. So if you need clarification, right? If you need clarification on any pairs I've just analyzed, let me know. I'll be happy to repeat. Unless it's something that I've talked about many times over already, then I'll say catch the replay. All right. So let's get started. So what has happened since the last time we spoke, which was just 12 hours ago, or 24 hours ago, right? One day ago, yesterday at 3:30 p.m., while we were doing the session, we saw the Swiss franc with their CPI data month to month, surprising markets a little bit, was 0.6%, expected a 0.5, came out at a 0.7. We saw the impact of this almost immediately, where the Swiss franc strengthened quite significantly, and I'll show you here on the charts. Right, we saw the Swiss franc strengthen quite significantly, and also I remember that I told everyone Oops, not that one. Take that away. Right, and remember I told everyone that, hey, wait, it's not ready to sell yet. Wait for it because we are looking for it to bounce back up. On that hourly time frame, this was at 3 p.m. yesterday. We saw it shoot down from that 0.9355 level. Within the hour, went towards 0.9313, way outside of the Bollinger Band there. Next hour or next couple of hours, we saw it retrace back up, right? Retrace back up, but then after that, continue with that downtrend. So that's why we were looking at a US Swiss franc no trade just to be safe. But the comments were that we're anticipating for that downward move to continue to test that support level at 9291, which is why it's there. Hey AL or AI, good to have you here. Thank you for joining. That's on YouTube. So if you're joining us on YouTube, hello, hello. I know it is slightly delayed, but good to have you guys here. So that was the US Swiss franc yesterday, where we saw it retrace back up and then continue trading lower following that trend. Nothing much else for the rest of the day. We did see Euro retail sales number month to month dropping, right? Dropping below expectations. So it was a minus 1.7%, was revised slightly upwards from a minus 2.7%. So a slight revision to the upside. Expectation was 0.7, came out at 0.3. So it shows that consumers in the Eurozone are not exactly spending. They're increasing their spending because it's gone from minus to a positive 0.3, but they're not spending or not likely to spend as quickly or as much as forecasted, right? So that shows some uncertainty, some tentativeness in the Eurozone. How the market saw that or how it interpreted was that inflation was still too high in the Eurozone. We had a lot of comments coming from ECB members where they were looking or commenting that we could see further or more consistent interest rate increases to come from the ECB. In fact, I'll show you that headline. Where is it? Let me look. Battle lines form for March decision as future interest rates debated, and then I can't find it. Where is it? Let me find There you go. ECB's Holzman calls for 4 more 50 basis point rate hikes. 4 more. So recent comments from ECB Chair President Lagarde, she was saying that in March, 50 basis point rate hike pretty much decided, but following on from that, it would be data dependent. So it's quite interesting to see the ECB Holzman or ECB member Holzman calling for 4 more 50 basis point rate hikes. Very big call, and that's why we saw that upside move on the euro dollar. I'll tell you more about that shortly through the session. Hey, Gawaxia, good to have you here. Okay, so what else happened? Nothing much. US factory orders, slightly less, but not a big price mover. We did see the euro dollar, the dollar index continuing to drop lower. And then on to today. I have been talking to you all about this since yesterday, probably on Friday as well, if I recall. Aussie cash rate, interest rate decision for Australia from the RBA. What they did, increase interest rates from a 3.35% to a 3.6% as expected. A 25 basis point rate hike from the RBA, right? And because of that, typically what we would expect with an interest rate increase is for the currency to strengthen, right? Typically we would expect the currency to strengthen, but if you have been reading my analysis, let me bring up the Aussie dollar here. Take that away. Okay. Okay, I won't do it here now, but back testing it all the way, we have seen, apart from the most recent in February, every time the RBA increases interest rates, we saw the Aussie dollar drop. Following the increase, right after they announce a rate increase, we see the Aussie dollar drop. So that was pretty much what I expected. I was looking for in terms of this cash rate decision. 25 basis point rate hike, possible drop. It was also going to depend on what was said during the rate statement. All right, so just showing you guys here the rate statement that was released accompanying the rate decision. 25 basis point rate hike to take it to 3.6%. Then the next headline was that, or the next big one is that monthly CPI indicator suggests that inflation has peaked in Australia. Has peaked in Australia. Goods price inflation is expected to moderate over the months ahead. All right. With that, they also forecasted that decline will be for this year and next. So it's a long-term view to be around 3% in mid 2025. Not that quickly, mid 2025. Medium-term inflation expectations remain well anchored, and it's important that this remains the case. All right, so skip past everything. The board expects that further tightening of monetary policy will be needed to ensure that inflation returns to target, and this period of high inflation is only temporary. Further rate increases will be dependent on developments in the global economy, household spending, and outlook of inflation in the labor market. So when we look at this, what it means is that, hey, they have brought interest rates to a 3.6%. Inflation might or seems to have peaked, likely to moderate, looking at it to hit 3% in 2025. So then we come to the consideration that could, and there's a headline here that it says, the RBA hike by 25 basis point, but are they one step closer to discussing a pause? Has the RBA increased rates enough such that inflation has peaked and could be turning more consistently towards the downside? That's also the additional reason why we saw the Aussie dollar at the start of the news, right before the news, go from that 6.743 level straight down towards that 0.6693 level. All right. Hey, AliFX from Canada, good to have you here. So price went down, tested or looked to breach that 0.67 level, but failed. All right, but failed. It came down, it tested this level, and now it rebounded. It looks like it's rebounding towards the upside. We were anticipating last night that the dollar weakness could push this up and then look for that sell down. It traded lower without that retracement towards upside, so we'll take that away for now. The Aussie dollar, now we're looking at it reacting. We're looking for that reaction of that 0.67 support level. Okay. Following on from that, we just had at 3 p.m. as this started, we had the German factory orders being released, better than expected. Was expecting a minus 0.6%, came out at a 1%. Halifax HPI, no idea what it is. I don't pay attention to that news. Came out better than expected as well. The big potential, I'll put inverted commas on big, right? The potentially big fireworks is going to come tonight. Tonight for me, all right? Tonight for me, 11 p.m. GMT plus 8, Fed Chair Powell testifying. What's he testifying about? He is testifying about the semi-annual monetary policy report to the Senate Banking Committee. This is most likely going to be a high volatile situation where we could see big moves on the dollar index and also right across the board to all the different currency pairs and commodity such as gold. The likelihood is that we could see Fed Chair Powell come out relatively hawkish. Right? My view is that he'll come out relatively hawkish, but what that also could mean is that now we'll look into the charts. The dollar is trading at that 104.20 level. Yesterday, we were talking about this trading down towards that 104 level. I still do view that as a possibility for price to come down to test 104. All right, I'll show you the last time we had this. No, let me find the FOMC. Let me find the date of the previous FOMC. All right, I'm just going to scroll through a little bit. Where is it? Okay, so the last time we had the Fed decision was on Feb 2nd. You can see that they increased interest rates by 25 basis points. We saw the view that the Fed was taking on quite a hawkish stance, and on the 2nd of Feb, which is possibly quite far back. Further back. Okay, there we go. No, that's the third. That's the second, right? On the 2nd of Feb, when the Fed increased rates by 25 basis points, took on a more hawkish stance where they said, hey, we're not even considering to pivot. We're still looking at further interest rate decisions. What happened to the dollar index? We saw a brief move to the upside, but generally a big downward move. It went from that 101.76 or even 101.80 within the hour down towards 101.16, continued down as low as 100.80 before that big retracement and big continuation towards the upside. All right, so just be extra careful here. Oops, where's my price? Okay. Looking at the way the dollar is moving, I do anticipate that we could see this come down to test that 104 level. I'm not ruling out the possibility that it could break 104, possibly test 103.80. If it does break below, then we would have another level here at about 103.50. Okay, so I'm not ruling out the possibility of a big downward move. Okay, so it could come down to as far as 103.50, about say 103.70 as a support level there. Let's put that in, label our lines. Okay, especially if he does come out a little bit hawkish. First reaction, continuation of the downtrend, push lower. But I'm looking for this as a big downward move before that big retrace back up again. Okay, so I'm looking for that, possibly that move now leading up to the news to come towards 104. As the news gets released, I think possibly even a bigger move towards 103.50 before a big push up. Okay, so that's the view on the dollar index. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Downward move, brief downward move. I'm not super certain how big a move would it be to the downside, but I do think that we might see a big retracement back up. Okay, good. Wow. Can I take it that no question is good, or no questions means you're all super confused? Okay, so updating the summary sheet here. Today is the 7th. Dollar index, we're looking at possible weakness to 103, 103 dot, let's say 103.50, but we're looking for hawkish Fed, um, Fed chair, Fed, no, hawkish chair Powell to bring price back up again. Okay, so that's the view on the dollar. So right now, I'm still looking for that downward continuation. Good from M Leader. Thank you so much. All right, so that's the dollar index view for now. Now, looking at the Kiwi dollar. All right, looking at the Kiwi dollar, you can see dollar weakness, right? The dollar weakness is going to push most currencies right across the board to the upside. Yesterday, when we spoke about this, we said we're looking to buy it up from 0.621, well, 0. Upside to 6260, hurdle at 6240. We're still looking for that move. And I would say that if I were not if I were not doing this session right now, I might have jumped into the trade already. What I would suggest is waiting for the next hour, right? A little bit late now. I would say wait for the next hour. There might be a retrace slightly lower. We could be looking at a possible buy at about 6215, right? Looking for a retrace or continuation towards upside towards a 6260 resistance level, slight hurdle at 6238. So Kiwi dollar buying from 0.6215 upside to 6260, hurdle at 6240. Straightforward, same analysis as before for the upside move on the Kiwi dollar. All these moves currently depend on is that continuation to the downside on the dollar index. What's my view on the BOJ Kuroda meeting coming on Friday? I will tell you more about that on Thursday, right? Why so? Okay, so we just done the Kiwi dollar, and since I have the question there on the BOJ meeting, why I would have to tell you that on Thursday is because we do have a big news event coming up tonight on the dollar, right? On the Fed chair testifying, and also it will continue not just today, but it will continue on through to tomorrow night as well, right? So a lot of volatility to be happened first before we'll get to the big news event on the BOJ press conference. So it is right now trading slightly to the downside because of that dollar weakness. I have been looking for that downward move on the yen to break below that 135.30 level to possibly trade down towards 134. Same view for now, right? I'll move this right across. Same view for now because we are expecting that dollar weakness to come around or to maintain. Why I'm delaying the view on the BOJ to Thursday is because it will make a big difference on whether price is down at 134 or if we see that dollar strength recovery or the recovery in the dollar strength. If it came down and rebounded strongly towards 137, will affect the view or the forecast on the yen, on the US yen as well. Okay, so just hold your horses there. We'll check back on that on Thursday in relation to the BOJ. But US yen for now No trade, but I'm looking for it to break below 135.30 to trade down towards that 134 level. You're most welcome there, Harpatra. Hey Bill, good to have you from Greece. How are things? How are things? Right, so US yen still maintains selling below 135.30 to 134 target level. Okay, so that was the US yen. Great. Oh no, wait, I want that back again. Okay. Now, looking at the Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar there. All right. You can see that I did write a post this morning at 10 a.m. about, let me see if I can, what happens when I click that. Ah, fantastic. All right, I did write about this. I was expecting some upward move, right? Expectation is for a 25 basis point rate hike. Every interest rate hike the RBA had seen since the RBA release has seen the Aussie dollar trade lower. So I was telling you all this before the news release at 10 a.m. The news happened at 11:30 a.m. So currently trading at this level, if the RBA does hike rates by 25 basis points and signal, we could see it trade up, but I'm still looking for it to reverse back down, trading within the range. Okay, so within the range of 0.6697 or 0.67 and 0.6781. So we've seen that happen. We've seen it drop. It didn't go as high as we thought. It saw it reverse back down, tested this support level, again, highlighting why I say tested this level. We've seen it happen once, twice, 3 times now already. So I'm anticipating that this support level could hold. And because it could hold, I wouldn't be looking for something now, not as quickly as the Kiwi dollar because of that big move. Maybe wait for the 4 o'clock or even the 6 o'clock timing. It's 3:30 now. So our slightly delayed view on this is that if it does push towards upside, I could be looking for an upward move on the Aussie dollar, right? 60 pip take profit, 30 pip stop loss, a 1:2 risk reward ratio to the upside. Price, I would actually revise this a bit and do that. Let's do that. All right, so still looking at that 60 pip move, 6720. So I'll be looking, if it breaks above 6720, looking for that buying opportunity, 30 pip stop loss, 60 pip take profit to test that resistance level again. All right, oops. So where's my Aussie? So Aussie interest rates sell down from to, okay, so now we're looking at possible buy from 0.6720 to resistance. Okay, good. So that's the Aussie dollar potentially. We're looking for that dollar weakness to continue, and then we could see the Aussie dollar push back up, reversing what happened what happened at the news release, bouncing off the support to that upside. Now let me just try this and see if we've got any key levels to watch out for. Yeah, so 61.8 is where it started at. That's why we saw that big reverse. I think that if we see big dollar weakness, we could see this push well past. I think it's too near. It is a good fib level. It's been tested and rejected to the downside. So, I think that we could see this trade up. All right. So that's the view on the Aussie dollar. Looks like we're seeing that dollar weakness really come through, pushing prices right across. Just be extra careful. The last time we saw it tested a level. It looked like it was breaking strongly. It had a big rebound. Again, I'm not saying that it's definitely going to break that 104 level, because just on the 1st of March came very close and then rebound back up again. All right, so we're going to see significant volatility on the dollar index. All right, so Kiwi done. Oh, Kiwi is actually triggered, right? Kiwi has pushed up. Could have been a good trigger to the upside, looking for the upward move. Aussie dollar coming close. I would say let the hour close. Yen still trading lower. I would say that at this point, be extra patient. We do have other trading opportunities. I think a big move could happen on the yen. So don't try and scalp that small move down. Oh, I'll share with you what I did on the Aussie dollar as well. This morning, as I was writing the analysis, I saw it form a bit of a support here, pushing up. So I actually did a quick scalp to the upside within the hour. All right, on the M15 time frame, I did that. So I saw it break out. So at about 9:45, I had a quick scalp from 6.7. Let me just check my thing. I did a 6.739. So 6.739 about there, and then a quick scalp to the upside to 6.745. That's a quick scalp on the Aussie, and then after that I switched when the news got released. I switched and I started selling it back down. I didn't sell on release of the news. I think I sold at that 6.730 level. 6.730. I was anticipating that move, but this was on the M1 time frame. I had a couple of scalps to the downside. All right. Just before we started this session, I had the last quick scalp on the Aussie. By going at 6.702, this was a ridiculous trade. I was trying to gamble that it was going to break that support level 6.702. It shot down and I closed out at 6.700. 2 pips, got out. I saw that it wasn't going to break. I just got out the trade. And then I'm very happy I did, because it's rebounded back up. Okay, so that was the Aussie. Is my mic okay? So wait, Goldilocks say my mic is messed up. Is there an echo sound problem? Let me check. Echo sound. Am I selecting the right mic? Okay. I think what's happening is that, okay, now it's okay. It was echoing like a robot. I'll tell you what happened. Is because I got super excited. I'm in the office, yelling at the top of my voice, and I think it's causing a bit of an echo in the office. So I will settle down a little bit. I will talk a little bit less crazy, like crazy madman, with the sound and the echoing. So, does your main forex earnings come from scalping or from the H1, H4 timeframe trades? Very good question. Very good question. What I tend to do, because I am looking at the charts almost all the time, right? The only time I'm not looking at the charts is when I'm traveling or when I'm sleeping, pretty much. Okay. So what I tend to do is that I will look for short-term trades. It's not always a scalp, more within the hour, within the 1-2 hours kind of trade as it sets up. So let's say, for example, this is the Aussie dollar. I'll be looking for short-term trades towards the downside. If it breaks that key support level and goes lower, then I'll be looking for more longer term, as in a couple of hours, or a day kind of trade, or 2 days kind of trade, right? So small time frame leading up to the bigger time frame trading. On the H4, I would say that I don't have the patience to do an H4 trade, predominantly because it does take a long time to set up for that trade. And also because I'm looking at it all the time. So I do want to take advantage of the price movements as it happens to try and jump into the trade rather than to try and do a longer term swing trade. All right, so I'll answer questions there on scalping or intraday trading style. I do have a combination: news release, scalping, normal trading, normal non-news release, then more intraday kind of style. Almost going to guarantee you that with the news release later tonight, Fed Chair Powell, if the volatility is there, then I will be scalping. All right. So Kumavat asks, where could gold move to? All right, let's look at gold. I'm glad the sound is working out better for all of you. All right, so gold, I'm super annoyed right now. Super annoyed. Why am I super annoyed? Because I was trading gold to the upside this morning as well. So I had my gold trade running, I had my Aussie trade running. I was trading this up. Then I was looking for buying opportunity, and it's happened just this hour as we started. So I'm missing out on one trade, on one big trade here. Okay. Interesting thing about gold is that it's got that big upward trend line. The last time we spoke about it, I said that I was looking for it to test. Well, gold uptrend, looking to buy if price breaks 1858.70. Right, 1858.70 was about there, but I was also saying that it could come down to test this support level and the upward trend line. It tested the support level and upward trend line, rebounded, and then tested the support level again. Now it looks like it's forming a good, this support level, it's not a resistance. This support level is forming a good level, right? And I could see further upside potential on gold, especially if that dollar continues to weaken. What I'll show you here, I'm looking at my chart on the other side, is that you can see gold is retracing back down. This is an M15 time frame, so a big move to the upside, retracing back down. What I'm looking for is buying opportunities to the upside. So I'll look for this to retrace, possibly by the close of the hour. 1850. So about 1850, take profit towards the 1858 level. Stop loss at about 1845. 1:1.5 risk reward ratio towards the upside there on gold. Okay, so I'm still looking for that upward move, for that push towards the upside on gold, especially as it found a good strong support here at that 1846 or 1847 level. Answers your question there. Answers the question there, Kumavat. Okay, let me just check my wires. No, my wires are here, nicely tangled, but we're trying to straighten it and hope it works out. But it seems like it's working better now. I need to upgrade. I need to upgrade my audio and visual capabilities. Right, so M Leader says gold up and USD CHF further down looks like. Yes, gold definitely to the upside. So let's update our summary sheet. Looking for buying opportunities above 1850. Gold buying if price breaks 1850 with strong support at what was it, 1847. 1847. Right, so relatively Well, I'm still looking for gold. I mean, look at the trend. We are still looking for that upward move. I could, in fact, update this. Not a great trend line at this point, but we could update this to show that continuation to the upside. Okay. Thank you, Ari. Thank you, Jamil. You're most welcome, Kumavat. Okay, great. So that's gold done. Now, as M leader was saying, USD CHF, we were looking at this trading down right now. It's testing, right? I'll do this right now, testing that support level at 0.9290, right? Testing that support level at 0.9290. Big downward move here, right? Down trend line, supporting or pushing price, applying that downward pressure on price. If it breaks below this support level here, this point here, we could see it come down towards that 9252 support level, right? The next support level lower. What I'll also highlight here is that, let me just think about this. Okay, we could see this trade down. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll show you all this idea. 92, say about 928, below 9285. Nope, wrong one. Below 9285, so about 9283, stop loss tight at about 20 pips. Take profit also relatively tight at about 30 pips, right? So not a great big move expected. I know that we do have another level here, a big support level here as well. Okay, so you could even think about that move 50, 60 pips to the downside, or almost 1:3 risk reward ratio to the downside on the US Swiss franc. Right, so that's the trend following the trade, the trend following trade. So 9283. So we could say sell down from 9283, 0.9283, right? There is a hurdle, so I would actually update this and say could be a hurdle here at, let's change this to a bit of a dotted line, a hurdle here at 9250. Hurdle at 0.9250. All right. So that's the view on the trend following view on the US Swiss franc. What I closed for 50 pips from yesterday, now waiting to re-enter, more patient than a year ago. Hey, you've known, it's good. Hey, at least you have improved, closed out your 50 pip trade, more patience. That's a good growth. All right. What I want to highlight to you all as well is that we've gone through a few different currency pairs already, right? We've looked at possible weakness on the dollar, causing a buy, or most likely a buy on the Kiwi, and possible buy on the Aussie dollar. We're looking at the US yen also trading to the downside because of that dollar weakness. We haven't done pound, we haven't done euro. We looked at Swiss franc with that possible dollar weakness, pushing it down, and then gold trading higher because of that dollar weakness. What happens with a lot of traders is that you would approach the market with such a view. You go, oh wait, dollar weakness, if it comes down to that 104 level, we're going to see it break, and I'm just going to be looking for dollar weakness all the way. And what happens? You look at prices, and then it starts going up. Dollar starts rebounding like what it's doing right now, and then you're trying to force trades because of that dollar weakness, right? You're trying to force trades because of that dollar weakness, and then what happens? you're still looking to buy the Aussie up, or you're still looking to sell the Swiss franc down, expecting that dollar weakness to continue. So what I want to try and encourage you all to think more about is to have that flexibility, right? Flexibility in terms of different scenarios. If the dollar does continue to sell down or to push lower, great, we have our analysis there. But if we see a rejection of that 104 level and we see this push back up like what we saw on the 1st of March, what would you be looking for? What could you be thinking or looking towards? Possibility here on the US Swiss franc, finding a good support level. If it does bounce off this level, we could see it push back up. Right? We could see it push back up. A good, strong, well, potentially strong support. We saw it bounce off this level. So this could be something that you want to think about, right? If price does, or if the dollar index does strengthen from here, yes, we trend following trade will be looking to sell it down, but you could also be looking in the flip side, if the dollar strengthens, could we be looking to buy it up? Needs to break above that trend line, needs to break above that downward trend line. So I'd say about 9.3, above that nice round number of 9.3. Stop loss, very tight because it would be a somewhat of a counter trend trade. So some stop loss about 20 pips. Take profit 30 pips towards, or almost 40 pips towards the upside on the US Swiss franc. Okay, so I would say this is a trend following trade, possible counter trend opportunity if we see that dollar strength come back into play. Right, so we're keeping our options open, we're keeping flexible with our approach on the markets. Make sense? The worst thing you want to do is just keep thinking, great, I'm going to buy dollar weakness, I'm going to buy right across the board, and then it doesn't happen, and we see the dollar strength come back into play, and then suddenly you're like, wait, so what should I do? Okay, so I would say a possible idea there on the US Swiss franc is also a possible counter trend if DXY strengthens. All right, I wouldn't suggest it on the Kiwi dollar. Oops, no, go back to that. I wouldn't suggest it on the Kiwi dollar just because it seems to be finding a good strong support at that 6.2 level. Could be looking for the upward move. Aussie dollar, good strong support. So if that dollar strength comes into play, it could trade down, but it's within that range. So I anticipate that that range is going to hold. US yen, not likely to look for that counter trend just because it's super choppy. I'm not even looking for anything in the middle here. I'll be only looking if it breaks that support level. Definitely not looking to sell gold. Right? I'm definitely not looking to sell gold. My approach on gold right now is I'm only looking to buy. I'm looking for good places to buy. So now looking at the pound dollar, we spoke about this yesterday. I have been waiting for this to trade to the upside. It shot up, but it hasn't closed above. 6 minutes for this candle to close, but do not rush in. All right. We had the price here, so I'll update this just to show you all why I say do not rush in. Is because we've had since Saturday, Monday, Saturday formed this high here. Monday failed to break above. Tuesday morning failed to break above. Right now testing. So I'll take this with a little bit more caution. I wouldn't buy it right as it breaks above. I'll move the entry up to about 1.2060. Right, 1.2060. Stop loss again about maybe this time a bit bigger at 40 pips. Take profit at about 80 pips to the upside. Still looking for, again, now that dollar weakness Does it work? Why am I having so much technical issues today? Let me see. Um, Stream working? Okay, okay, okay. Good, good to have you back. Okay, Ari says YouTube is still working. I guess TradingView just wanted to think about things for a while, right? TradingView just needed a quick refresh. All right. So again, let's continue on. If you are having, I don't know how to tell everyone because obviously if it's hung for them, do a quick. If it stopped. Right. Okay. Good, good, good. So pound dollar still looking for that upward move. 1.2060. All these technical issues is throwing me off my groove. All right, so that's now my support level. My support level there. Okay, good. YouTube is still working and that. Okay. So now looking back at this pound dollar buying from above 1.2060. Let's come to the most important point, most important part. So I hope I've got everyone on board because we are looking at the euro dollar. The euro dollar. Yesterday, when we were looking at the euro dollar, we were saying heading to 1.07, looking to buy from 1.0650. What we saw, 1.0650, price came down, tested. It didn't close above as we were talking about it on at 3 o'clock yesterday. It retraced, it finally went up and closed and went up to that 1.6050 level, right? So it started trading up, didn't get to that 1.07 level exactly, but then we saw a brief retrace, now pushing higher again. I'm still looking for that upward move. I'll put this to the side so it doesn't mess my charts. I'm still looking for that upward move on the euro dollar. The question now on the euro is whether price is going to break above 1.07, right? Whether price is going to break above 1.07, and if it does, we do have a big next level here at 1.08. That tail of that upward move at 1.08. So what I'm looking for, a bit of hesitation here at 1.0745. Right, I put this as a possible hesitation. Okay. You see. All right. Good, good, good. Everyone's still here. Okay. So what I'm looking for on the euro now that it's approaching that 1.07 is that I'm looking for a possible buy above 1.07. 1.07, I can be a bit safer here and say 1.0720. Take profit way up there, about 70, almost 80 pips to the upside. Stop loss, we could be a little bit safer and do about 30 pip stop loss here. Almost 1 is to 2.7 risk reward ratio to the upside on the euro dollar. But don't do anything yet unless it breaks above 1.07. I don't think it will do that in a hurry. We saw that once already. We saw it a second time where it's come close and it's retraced. I think that we're likely to see it move this aside a bit, retrace, consolidate just below that level, and then have a big breakout to the upside. Right? So it is still consolidating. You can see that it's been trading within this range. So it's not doing too much at this point. I'm looking for it to break up 107, close above that 107, about 107.0720 to trade significantly towards that 1.08 level, especially with all that comments from the ECB commenting about further rate increases, 4 more 50 basis point rate hikes to come. All that put together, that's the reason why I think we could see that big upward move on the euro dollar. Okay? So it needs to break out of that move there. All right, good. So euro dollar, where am I? Euro dollar needs to break 1.07. Look to buy from 1.0720. All that other things away. Good. That's the view on the euro dollar, looking for that big upward move. Could it retrace? Possibly. This is again another view where we could be looking at a counter trend just because of what has happened on the 1st of March. Big retrace from this level, showing some hesitation again to break higher. If the dollar strengthens significantly, then we could see this trade down. Right? We could see this trade down. I would say be extra safe just because of the way it's pushed to the upside. You can see here that it's could come down to that 23.6 level. I would say if you're looking to sell the euro down, don't do anything unless it breaks below 1.0640, which is about that 50% level, 50% retracement level. Then it will be something similar to what we saw on the 2nd of March. You could be looking to sell down. Stop loss about 20 pips. Take profit to that hesitation level or to that recent low point at about 50 pips. A 1:2.5 risk reward ratio to the downside on the euro dollar. Okay. Alrighty, good stuff. Okay, good. Again, everyone, short intermission because I'm going to tell you the same thing over and over again. Do help me out. Click that rocket button, click the like button on YouTube. And if you haven't already, do follow me on TradingView and also on YouTube as well. That would help with the algorithms to help us get found by more people so that we can share the analysis and the views right across the board to everyone else who's interested. So now Swiss franc done, looking like a possible rebound. Let's hold off and wait. Finally, the US CAD, spoke about this last week. We saw the upward move. Right now, still trapped within that range. Unfortunately, I looked at the US CAD, no trade. Again, same thing, no trade on the H1 time frame. H4 as well is right in the middle of that support and resistance level. I would still maintain the view that I wouldn't rush into a trade unless that dollar weakness pushes price down. We could see a big rebound back up, but it's sitting right in the middle. We have so many other trades to look for and to pay attention to. I think there's no point trying to force out a trade on the US CAD as it is sitting right in the middle between that support and resistance line. Okay. So with that said, any further questions? Any further questions? All good? Any requests? Anything you want me to look at? If you haven't already, I'm I'm yearning. I'm currently at 17,413. I'm yearning, dying to get to 18,000. I need all of you to tell, or to jump on, tell your friends and family, tell everyone to get on board. If you haven't already, join me on TradingView. Let's get this to 18. Well, first to 17,500 and then to 18,000. A lot of the analysis that I have just shared with you in more detail during the webinar has been written relatively slightly more briefly on the post as well. So if you haven't already, do check it out. Bitcoin, I did a quick post on Bitcoin. A big drop, we saw that because of Silvergate. Right now, still consolidating right across. Not too interesting, but I am still looking for that potential downside move. You're most welcome there, BL. All right, so what I'll need to ask all of you is I do intend to get into some educational webinars for you guys, right? I intend to do some educational webinars for you guys. Is there anything you would like more help on? Fundamentals, understanding news, or technicals, looking at support resistance lines, or trend, or indicators, or putting together, different kinds of strategies. Any particular thing that you would like me to start off with? I look for your feedback and comments. All right. And also one thing I would love to try and do is to get, people onto a session where I try and diagnose your trading strategy to try and help you trade better. It will require you to, share more about your trades, the way you're trading, why you enter trades, and then I'll see whether I can help you tweak your trading strategy or your approach or your mindset just to see whether we can get you trading better, longer, more profitable, more consistently. Do I use any indicators? I do. I do use. I've coded my own MACD, so I use a sped up MACD. MACD is super laggy, so I've redone the math. I've done my own MACD. I've got the Bollinger Bands, which I shared with you guys yesterday. I do tweak my own, just move the parameters on the stochastics as well. But generally, that's it. MACD, stochastics, and the Bollinger Bands. Hey, the live session is back in play. It is in play now. So you have joined the live sessions, and we can do that. Back up again. News and fundamentals. All right. So the next one I'll do is the news and fundamentals because that's what we got from Angel Case and Ali FX Pips. So we'll do news and fundamentals next. I will think about how to conduct that. And then following on from that, if you have any questions where, or any particular points and help that you need, do reach out. I'll be happy to integrate that into part of the educational webinars that we'll run as well. The one with the live trading and discussions. Yeah, we'll build that following, we'll build a community again, and then we will get back to it. Leader knows the drill, so we'll get back to that. All right. So with all that said, again, if you haven't, do help me out. Click that like, click that rocket button, the subscribe button, the follow button. And then with that, please remember, trade well, trade safe. There is a big news event on tonight. Best is to approach it neutral and then try and take advantage of it during the news if you're able to. If you're not, wait for the wave of volatility to be over. Then after that, start entering the trades, possibly tomorrow. With that, we will be back tomorrow, 3 p.m. GMT plus 8. I look forward to seeing you all again. Please trade well, trade safe, and take care now. Bye bye.